with part 2 of the Fiat 1936 Fiat 500, that is. We'll pop back into our garage. Let's go through this door. Here's our Fiat. And if you recall from our first stream and video on this, we have tore down the suspension, ripped off all the parts. We've repaired the frame. We've washed it. Took the body panels off, repaired body panels we could. The interior is done, and it looks cool. I like that chain steering wheel. So we're going to go ahead and finish 3-starring all the performance parts on the motor, which we have the V8 supercharged overhead valve 2-carb engine on here. I've already taken the opportunity to 3-star some of these parts, I believe. Let me see. Pistons. Did I 3-star the pistons? I thought I had. Yep, I did. So let's go ahead and mount these parts on that I have 3-starred. Now this is a pet peeve of mine. I do keep a lot of parts in my mechanics inventory. The game by default will not give you the 3-star performance part as your default option. So you have to make sure you select that. Or you'll have spent all this time converting parts to performance parts, and all of a sudden you or 3-starring those performance parts, and then you put the wrong part on. That's really unnerving, especially if it's like a piston or something where you have to take the whole engine apart again to get down to fix that. That is what you call irritating. Let's go ahead and find the 3-star pistons and the rings. There's the last one. All right, then we can put the rod caps on. And you can see, obviously, I keep an extensive inventory of parts on hand for routine parts. We do have a hard stop on the stream today at 11:45 Central Time, so I've got another 45 minutes or so. We should be able to fly through this pretty quick, I think. All right, do I have an oil pan? I don't. I have a lot of parts, but I didn't have an oil pan. All right, flywheel. Should have a 3-star one. There it is. Clutch plate, 3-star. Clutch pressure plate. And it is a, I mean, that's a 2.7 or a 0.27% difference just by 3-starring the clutch pressure plate. So you do get a big performance boost. 3-starring normal parts that are not performance parts does not increase the performance of the part. It does increase the value of the part, so the car will be worth more, but it doesn't increase its performance, which is why I'm not bothering with parts that are not performance parts. 3-star alternator. 3-star cam. Do I have a cam gear? I do. I don't know if I have the chain. I don't. I'm gonna buy half dozen of these. I use this engine a lot. I'm gonna kind of build up a little bit of an inventory of the parts for this car. Clutch pulley. Water pumps. Water pumps are not performance parts, so you don't even have to bother looking for that. Fuel filter. Did I make a 3-star one? I did. Our steering pump, I made a 3-star one. Got a text. I do have all the DLC cars. In fact, this car that the Fiat is a DLC car. So if we show you my spreadsheet. So this is the list of cars that I have purchased and the process of restoring. So the ones that I have value on and horsepower rating and some of the performance time, those are the cars that I've restored and I have done, but just haven't fully tested all of them. And the ones that I have down here in light blue are cars that I have in my uh, parking garage. I just haven't taken the time to fully restore them yet. The one obviously that I'm working on right now is the 1936 Fiat 500. It's actually not worth a buck. I just put that in there for my sorting purposes. So the plan is to get all the cars and all the DLC cars restored, stored in my parking garage, and then test them all out and see which one's the fastest, etc. All right. I did dang it, I selected the wrong one. Just rotate the engine. The 3-star ignition distributor. Rotor. And a 3-star cap. Don't forget the clips. It's really irritating when you forget 2 little clips and you're wondering why your car's at 98%. Ignition coil. I don't think I bought the performance heads yet. No, I didn't. Alright, let's buy that. Have a belt. X. I think the heads are the same on both sides on this engine, if I recall. Yep. Get 2 of those. And we'll go over to the scrap bench and improve those to 3-star. Helps putting a macro on the side of your mouse to hold down left click for you so you can fly through these giant list of parts if you're like me and keep a huge inventory of parts. Alright, the heads are 3-starred. Mount. Oh man. Get on some clothes for bowling, buddy. Okay. Alright, another 3-star head. And we'll go ahead and do the push rods and rockers. Push rods and then the rockers. Yeah, I am somewhat addicted to it. I agree. I do enjoy this. I don't have the head cover. Let's buy a half dozen. And I'm pretty sure I don't have head cover B, so I'll just buy those while I'm here. Alright. And the spark plugs I did take and improve. But again, just that annoying pet peeve of mine, the game doesn't default list the augmented improved spark plugs as your first option. You have to make sure you manually select the right one. Right, let's do the push rods and rockers on this side. There we go. And head cover. And find some 3-star spark plugs. And I had 3-star ignition wires. That's good. Let's grab the exhaust manifolds I don't have. I think they're the same on both sides, if I remember. They are. Buy 2 of those. I don't have the performance intake, so I'll need one of that. Head over to the scrap bench. And just so I remember the names. Wow, piston in my search. Dang it. Alright, supercharge and exhaust. So stop at the E's for exhaust manifolds. They don't have a search menu on this either, which is somewhat irritating, which is why I put a macro on the side of my mouse so I can just hold that button down and it smashes left click ridiculously fast to scroll through these parts. Supercharger, Mantec, manifold, restart. Manifolds on both sides. And buy the supercharger. It's going to put it on for a second, just because I know that the carbs I don't have, and I wanted to buy those. Pop this off real quick and go make it a 3-star supercharger. And 3-star the carbs while we're at it. Right. Gonna have to 3-star the air filters too, but we'll put these on first. Hey, how are you? Hope you guys are getting ready for a good New Year's. The scoops. I have been pretty decent. It's been busy. Scoop air filters. Ah, that's all right, man. Hope you're having a good break. Did you get over COVID okay? If I remember correct, I thought you were sick. All right, I think this. Yeah, 5 days. That's a good deal. That engine is. Did I? I don't think I missed anything. No, I did miss a. Gosh darn it! I missed a belt. And the fan. Now the engine looks done. Let's pull that off the stand. We'll get the cherry picker. And let's just oil it up a bit. Yeah, I should be back probably later this afternoon. I have a hard stop here at 11:45 my time, so about 20 minutes. But I'll be back on later this afternoon, definitely. So, have fun ringing in the new year, man. Get our fluid built in here, and brake fluid in the brake master cylinder, of course. Done. So let's get this up in the air, and we'll start the suspension and the fuel system, and the trans, of course. There's only a few more parts here that are going to be performance parts. And the battery sits in the back of this car. One's the fuel pump, which I think I made a 3-star fuel pump. I did. Good. The exhaust, we can buy performance exhaust. In fact, we could just do that right now. The trans, we'll get a performance trans because that's the only trans you can tweak the gear ratios, which you definitely are going to want to do that. If you're going to drag race, you want the performance trans so you can play with the gear ratios. All right, let's buy these parts. 2 rear mufflers. 2 middle mufflers. Must be some kind of bot, huh? Gearbox. Gearbox V8 overhead valve. And I think that is it. Let's go over to the scrap bench and we'll get those improved. So we have to do the gearbox, middle muffler, and rear muffler. So we'll go GMR. G. I went right past it. And then we'll stop at the M's. Went way too fast. To get the middle mufflers. Ah, there they are. And then we'll go to the rear exhaust. Rear muffler, V8 overhead valve. Alright, those are performanced up to 3-star. Go ahead and put this stuff on. Performance gearbox. Starter. Middle mufflers. And then the rear muffler. And we can hook up the drive shaft. This is another kind of pet peeve of mine. The fact that you can't zoom in on those bolts. That's as close as you can get to the bolts on the drive shaft. So it makes it hard to see these dang bolts. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's just somewhat irritating. Alright. Let's get the rear suspension system done. I might have this car pretty much complete other than the testing and painting before our hard stop here at 11:45. Drum brakes in the back, so not the performance brakes. I think it has disc brakes in the front, so we'll be able to put on performance brakes in the front. Wheels will hang on the wheels because we're going to put different rims than what this sucker came with. And we'll have to think about how wide a tire we want in the back. Pretty sure we're going to have some pretty wide slicks in the back. Sure. That way we don't have to buy a bunch of them for a while. I'm out of springs. Not for long. With all these restorations I'm doing now, I just buy piles of parts that are used on multiple vehicles because it just saves you the time of, as you're popping through restoring these cars, of having to stop to shop to buy one rubber bushing or one solid control arm. They're used on a lot of different cars, so just buy multiples of them, especially as you get leveled up as, about a 160 that we are right now. You're going to have more than enough money. And if you need money, find a good performance car at the junkyard or a sports car at the junkyard and restore it and sell it. You'll make a ton of money. All right, let's get the front suspension put together. These rubber bushings in the cross member first. Those are ones that I used to forget a fair amount, so I just always tend to do those first so I don't forget them. Steering rack, sway bar, tie rods, control knuckle, hub bearing. Now this is a part that we can get as a performance part. So we're going to do that because that's still part of the challenge we've set for ourselves. If we can get a performance part, we're going to use a performance part. So the brakes, we'll get the carbon ceramic disc. And then we'll pop over to the scrap bench and make those brake discs 3 stars. Caliper, brake disc. I went right past it. Okay, they're 3 starred. Got a nice clean set of brake pads and caliper cylinder. Get the upper suspension arm on and the bushings. And the lower suspension arm and bushings. Shock absorber. And end link. I'm going to run out of those. Get to this side. Just watching my time so I don't go over my hard stop time. Got the tie rods on, lower suspension arm, and a shock. I think these are the ones that I was running low on, so let's get some more end links. Okay, now we have to figure out what kind of rims we're putting on this bad boy. I think the suspension's done. Okay, so the default ones were these solid silver ones in the back and these kind of hold ones in the front. I don't really like those on this Fiat. I kind of like these silver with black. No, I have 17s. The default, they had 18s in the back and 14s in the front. So we could put 17s in the front since I already have one, and put 18s in the back. That could be cool. Yeah, let's do that. Cause yeah, I don't like the rims. They have a default of 265, so we're gonna go wider because we put the supercharged engine on this and we tweaked the heck out of this engine, so we're gonna have power. The default was 265 65s. I think we're going a little wider. We're going to put 305, 35, 18s in the back, and we'll put probably 265. I want to go that wide in the front. Let's do 235s in the front. Just go a little shorter, so maybe 55 17s. So looking at those rims, I like that rim on this car. I think it look cool. Maybe it won't. I'm sure my buddy Mackie will make fun of me for this. that's fine. I'll buy 117, and we're going to get 2 18s. And tire-wise, we'll use the whole shot tires. 18. 18s are the ones I'm putting in the rear. 305. 35s. And then we'll put 17s in the front. 235. 55s. All right, let's install these at our wheel machine, tire machine. Install. Put the little weights on as you balance. Am I missing one of my rims? Yeah, I'm missing one. Did I not buy 17s? I need one more 18. Okay, thought I bought 2. Put the wide tires in the back here. 2 305s. 1 305s in the back. Always when you have 2 different wheel sizes, make sure when you're mounting your wheel, you're selecting the right wheel size. And then the 235s in the front. Yeah, I like it. I think that looks decent. I probably could have made those a little thicker, but that's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and put our body panels on. Which I have some body panels for this. Now, the other thing I'll always do, I don't think there's any body tuning for this, but we'll just check. Nope. Okay. You go to the body shop. There's certain parts I know I won't have stored in my inventory because you can't repair them. So headlights, tail lights, glass. Just buy those because you know you're going to need them. The others I probably have in my inventory. Hey, buddy. Well, I thought I had these parts. Maybe I didn't. All right. I think she is done. Body 85%. We are missing something. What are we missing? Right side mirror and the rear window and the right tail light. Okay. Ah, now I can see it. Car status. 100%. And we did that just 2 minutes shy of my hard stop time, which is outstanding. So let's save the game real quick. Let's just, for fun, let's move this to the test path. We'll get the wheels aligned, the lights aligned, and then that'll be where we'll leave off for number 2 of the 1936 Fiat 500. And we'll come back, we'll paint it. Even though the default color on this one's not bad, but we'll paint it, decide if we're going to change it up the livery or do something different with it. Wheels are aligned. We'll take it to the dyno, test on its power, and tweak on the carbs, and then take it to the quarter-mile track and see how she performs. And I should put thicker tires on the rear. That's going to bug me. All right, one more fix, because I don't think those tires are thick enough in the rear. So I'm gonna pop it up. I put 305s and I went kind of narrow. I went 35. I think we can go for a full 65 just like the default on this. So I'm gonna go to the tire shop. 18s. 305. 65 by 2. The more I look at that tires, the profile is just too narrow. I don't like it. And heck, these are cars for myself, so I mean, I'm gonna get them the way I want. Sell the 35 tire. Now they're big old balloon tires. There we go. But I think it'll fit in that space on that car better. Otherwise, it almost looked like a go-kart wheel almost. I'll have to realign the wheels, of course. Whew. Well, that's almost too big. Some buck. Alright, so 65 is too big. 35 was too short. Let's buy 55 tires. Gosh dang it. .305. I'll just meet myself in the middle. Try 50s. 2. Guard unmount. Well, let's separate these again. I may not put the wheels on both tires right away. I'll test it first. Couple minutes over my hard stop, but this is me just getting a little obsessive, I guess. Now the 65 tire. Let's do one first. See what that looks like. That looks a little bit better. Not as balloony as the other tire. Just eyeballing it. Let's balance one. Throw it on the car, see if I like it before I even install the other one. Yeah, that's better. It fits in the wheel well better. And it's obviously wide, but that's kind of what I was going for. That's fine. And performance-wise, I mean, it's gonna have so much power on this car. You're gonna need a wire tire so that we're not just burning rubber as we try to take off at the quarter mile. No, not moving yet. We gotta mount the tire. Alright. Now, let's move the car back to the test path and just realign the wheels real quick. Ah, it saved it. That's good. Thought switching out the tires it would lose the alignment, but it didn't. And we'll move it to the paint shop, and this is where we'll save it because we'll do part 3 for this car and do the painting, dyno, testing, quarter mile run, all that fun stuff. All right. Well, thanks for watching the stream. We will catch you all hopefully later today. If I don't see everybody that's been on, you guys have a happy new year.